Is YouTube allowing companies to promote our content as ads where the company is paying YouTube for the authentic, organic content from YouTube that the creator put on the platform, and the creator's getting no kickback for it? Or is it that we don't even know, but we are getting kickback? Someone recently commented that my video on the Pocket 3 was served to them as an advertisement while watching YouTube. And I'm making this video because I want to ask you guys if you have ever heard of this. I am not paid by any of these companies to make the content that I make. And I'll talk about Insta360 in a second because I am collaborating with them, but it is under a very unique circumstance that I feel like matters. Okay. So when it comes to the DJI thing, I made a video where I talked about how I really love using this camera right here in my studio and I just used it this morning as a video camera. And so I was making the video about why I enjoy using it because it connects to the Pocket 3 or the Mic 3 and it's really fast to use. I prefer it for several reasons for specific videos. But then someone said that they were seeing it as an advertisement. And I was like, wait a second. The last thing that I need is for people to think that I am being paid by DJI to promote their products, which I am not. And that drastically changes how I would interpret the video, right? So I buy products that I enjoy and I make videos on how I use those products so that other people could make their own better buying decision. Whether you agree or disagree with how I think of a product, that's up to you. I try and just show you what it does. And this is an issue for me. I do not want to be associated with a company that is paying me to tell you something that I don't already agree with. So for instance, with Insta360, I bought these cameras of my own accord. All right, the Go Ultra, the X5. When I was making, and I was asked, I run a community. I'm not asking you to come join the community, but this is context. In the community, I was having a conversation with a member that was asking me about which camera I would recommend and why. And I said, I'll make a video about it. And so I planned a series of videos to compare the Ultra and the Pocket 3, the X5 and the Pocket 3. I was planning that content. And then in the midst of that, Insta360 reached out and said, hey, would you be willing to make some comparisons for these cameras? Now, let me ask you a question. If you were getting ready to make a bunch of videos comparing these two cameras, and then the company reaches out and says, hey, we'd love to send you a camera and some other accessories if in exchange for some content where you would compare the cameras. That's the collaboration, right? The exchange is I'll make a couple of videos comparing the cameras and just sharing my thoughts. And I was like, yes, because I'm about to do that. So it literally didn't change what I was doing, which is why I agreed to do it. If Insta360 reached out to me and said, hey, we need you to make a video on the X5 and we want you to show how it is better in this scenario than the Pocket 3, I'm going to be like, hold your horses, wait a second. That's not what I do. I'll put these two cameras against each other and I'll let the people decide. That's what I do. So I wanted to kind of clear that up because there is clearly a misunderstanding, and justifiably so, that sponsored videos and sponsored creators are going to be disingenuous or have a bias. I have a bias towards Insta360 because I really like these cameras and I've used them a lot. But I also have a bias towards the Pocket 3 because I used this camera to make 6 figures as a content creator doing product review stuff where it was just a perfect little matchup for me to use this. I wasn't paid by DJI. I made the money through affiliate marketing and things like that where I was helping people see what a product can do. I've talked about this in some other videos. And so when I look at this scenario and I go, wait a second, if people start to think that I am being paid by these companies, I wouldn't trust me either. So I'm never going to sacrifice my ethos of focusing on trying to give you the information you need on the stuff that you want so you can make the better buy for some small payday by a company, whether it's $500, $1,000, $5,000, I wouldn't give it up because that's a one-time, in one moment thing. If Insta360 said, we'll pay you $5,000 for this, it's that would radically change the credibility of who I am. So I'm not going to do that. And unless it's already something that I'm going to make. If they just paid me to make a comparison between the two cameras, then I would do it as long as they weren't trying to tell me which camera I had to say was better, because that's not what I do. I will say it on my own accord. I'll say that I prefer the Ultra over the Nano and the X5 over the, that's a tough one. I really love the Pocket 3 and the Nano or the X5 and the Pocket 3 for different reasons. So I just kind of wanted to get in here and make this video because if that is happening, I have never heard of that. And I think that is something that we need to figure out from YouTube. Is YouTube allowing companies to promote our content as ads where the company is paying YouTube for the authentic, organic content from YouTube that the creator put on the platform, and the creator's getting no kickback for it? Or is it that we don't even know, but we are getting kickback, which could be happening? So let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to dive into this more with some of my other camera stuff today, but hope this helped you. Remember, we're either going to sink or swim. Let's rise with the tide, and I'll see you on the flip side.